Let me start by telling you a small story. One time there was a military parade, and the major gave a speech, and he said, now that I've given you the major points, let me call the general to give you the general points. So the major, who is Chris, who has really been the chief lieutenant, has just provided quite the major points. My role as the general, as the head of the Ghana National NGO Forum, I'm going to give you the general points. So this has really been an exciting 2 days or 3 days or so, and we're continuing the excitement. From the lightning talk of Kamlegaya to the gracefully delivered speech of Her Royal Highness Nabagereka, from the sufficiently provocative intervention of Brian in the morning, where we were invited to think not outside the box, but without the box, to the emotionally charged presentation from Leonard Okello, plus, of course, every other speaker in between. These 2 days of the symposium have been nothing less than what one would call an experiential learning institute. In 1969, for those who were alive, you will all remember what they called the Woodstock Music Festival. This perhaps passes to be the NGO equivalent of the Woodstock Convention for civil society in this country. And I just want to thank all of you for making the time to this Woodstock. In the last 2 days, we've been able to indeed celebrate the giving and to reclaim our space. We've been reminded that we need to live giving because that's our DNA. That is our DNA. We give. We were reminded that just right after independence, when we had nothing but a World Bank loan, we were able to build like 22 hospitals which stand up today. We were able to build roads. We did that without foreign aid. Because we did it, we can do it again. We also had time to say, look, the media people need to present our philanthropic narrative the way it is. They talk about philanthropy, but oftentimes it's about the big and mighty. It's about the foundations. It's about the international corporations. It's about the big corporate social responsibility initiatives, and the usual suspects would be Total Energies, it would be MTN and their relatives. We told them that we need to reframe that narrative and be able to talk about people like us who give not because we have a lot, but because we have got a heart. We give not because we want to have fanfare and do marketing, but because of solidarity. And that's the conversation that we've had. We definitely have heard that we need to further develop the courtship between the private sector and civil society. It's a courtship that we need to further develop. Hopefully one day there will be a wedding where we can actually be able to get resources. Yes, we need to dispel the dominant narrative that communities have no money. Communities have money. And because they do, we can no longer call them beneficiaries. They are co-investors in our work. We definitely have also spent time, and importantly so, looking at what is it we can do to be able to develop social enterprises. Ambassador, you might have heard people that we need to change our bios because we also said the labels that are given to us as non-government, non-partisan, non-profit are not what we should be. We as civil society organizations, we are profit-making. We make social profit. We shouldn't be measured using commercial metrics. And so when we go on the table with the private sector, we'll go on the table as profit-making entities. They make the commercial profit, we make social profit, which could be improvement of young people, lives transformed, environment regenerated, improving social indicators of our people. All this is profit. So, those were the 2 good 3 days we have spent. Yesterday, in a very poetic manner, Jackie Asimwe, I don't know whether my elder sister or my younger sister, in a very poetic way said, this has been a meal. It's an African or Ugandan cuisine. Everything has been done well. The seasoning is right. The cooking is right. The presentation has been excellent. And it's not yet over. We have had Chris mention that tomorrow, or Friday, we have other interventions. We have other street activations. We'll also be going to Twajuman. We'll be then at Indere to celebrate at the Giving Fair. So we are not yet done. You are all invited. But how do we go from here? There's been lots and lots of conversations. There have been different tracks. The last I checked, that you can only be in one track at one time. If any of you has been in the 3 tracks at the same time, then perhaps he needs an immediate psychiatric evaluation. So, what we are going to do as Uganda National NGO Forum is to be able to document all that. In your midst are people who have not spoken, but their work has been writing literally everything that you have said. And this will come out in a knowledge product and an outcome document, just to be able to. So just look out for that. You'll be able to know what happened where you were not, and who said what. We were told that we need to continue the private sector and civil sector conversation, and this we commit that we will do. We will do. You will recall the great panel that we had here. You'll also recall my imaginary panel that I imagined, and a panel of BAT, a panel of A+, a panel of Uganda Funeral Services, and others like that. And how do we work with these to be able to do development with the people? The conversation that we've had means that gone are the days when we did development on the people. We are going to do development with the people. We are going to be able to go into the communities and have that. And as we will talk with the private sector, we will underscore this. If you can read, and I'm sure you can, this is the annual Philanthropy Symposium 2025. We could have actually said this is the annual Philanthropy Symposium, full stop. The fact that we put a 2025 means there's going to be a 2026. And so, we all invite you to the annual Philanthropy Symposium of 2026. I thank you.